What is a useless talent you have? I can crawl on all fours extremely fast. I found this out as a teenager in Taekwondo. We did a lot of weird exercises in our workouts. Crawling was one, and I got tagged in to crawl to one side of the gym and back, and went fast AF. I burned everyone. I crawled like a rock skipping across the pond. I even surprised myself, and remember some people laughing at the time. It definitely must look strange lol. I did it at home a few times to show people, but it gives rug burn very easy. I can balance almost anything on the palm of my open hand. Rake, golf club, shovel, open ladder, work, and alcoholism. With a couple of warm-ups to get the weight, I can flip a coin for the same result consecutively a bunch of times. My record is 44. Can usually / reliably do at least 20 every time. Works best with a UK 2p piece. I can cup my hands together and shoot water 10-12 feet in a straight line. It's like always having a water gun on me. When I do it without water it makes a fart noise, which is like always having a whoopee cushion. Edit, grammar edit, grammar. I'm really good at catching things that are falling, because I clumsily knock them over. I'm like an oaf in the front half of a second, and a ninja on the back half. I have roughly the same number of spills as the average person, but with extra steps. I've done it with multiple falling objects, behind my back, with my feet. Things usually don't hit the ground around me. I can do a ton of voices. You'd think it would be useful, but I've been trying to get into voice acting for 20 years. Edit, thank you everyone. I should reiterate, I gave up trying in my 20s. I try every now and then, but I haven't really put the work in as I should. I don't have a quality mic or a portfolio, but you guys have really inspired me. I'm much more interested in voice acting for gaming. I can do cartoonish voices, but I do best in something more dramatic. From what I heard, it is very hard to get into voice acting. Rob Paulson, a well-known voice actor, has been doing voices since I was a kid. I still hear him in stuff today, and I'm 35. With that kind of longevity and never having to appear on film/TV, there's no real need to retire. Still, I hope you get there someday. I have to imagine it is a great gig. I can hula hoop forever. I didn't think it was a talent until I realized no one can do it that I know. This is useless because I don't even do it anymore. I can count the letters in any sentence while the sentence is being spoken and still pay attention to what the person is saying. I've done this since I was around 10. It's compulsive. I can't quit doing it. Edit. I keep a list of 10-letter words in my mind. That is what the whole counting thing is about. Finding 10-letter words. I count the letters of everything I read. For me it's because I need them to be an even number. But the marks needs to be even, not the glyphs. Like, I counts as 2. OMG, I've done almost the exact same thing for many years, but only while talking. All my sentences have to have an even number of letters. If a sentence is odd then I get that annoying itchy brain and resort to accepting the nearest J or I as a dual entity. I never forget a face. If I've seen it once I'll remember it if I ever see it again. Pictures are a little harder because it's a frozen moment in time and they may never look the same way. Case in point, when I was 12 my dad introduced me to a guy and we chatted for a few moments. Almost 30 years later my dad and I were out and I said, "Dad, is that so and so?" And sure enough, it was, and my dad was able to reconnect with someone he hadn't seen in 20 years. I can move my ears up and down. Freaks the hell out of people who see it for the first time. If you're wondering, I went to a school where twisting your ears was an appropriate form of punishment. One teacher twisted my left ear a little too hard one day and soon enough I could move it. Same thing happened to my other ear a year later. I'm not 100% accurate, but I can look at people and tell where they're from without hearing them speak a single word. I'm American and can do this with Americans as well as non-Americans. Example, last summer I had a group of 5, and I identified 2 Belgians, a French and a German. One was so unbelievably impressed that he offered me $50 if I could precisely identify the fifth person, a woman, in the group. I looked at her, guessed French orgies, and won the most unlikely $50 of my life. I'm a small legend in my line of work and the tourists are dumbfounded every fucking time. I'm Irish. I know a ton of people who can identify an actor as Irish as soon as they appear on screen before they speak. It's cause we have very Sammy features. Small gene pool. I know Irish tourists the second they step into my shop. Women wear their makeup a certain way. The guys are easier to spot. I did a private tour for 3 adults and 20 teenagers last summer from Australia. Spent the day with them. Was talking at one point to one of the adults, a late 20s woman. I said, so, you are all Australian? She said yes, confirmed they were all Australian. Asked why I questioned it. I said, well, you look so Irish. She said, well, yes, her grandparents were from Ireland, but she was born in Australia. I said, yes, funny. I sensed it. You look Irish. You remind me of a Georgie. She said, shut up. My name is Georgie. I mean, how do I explain this shit? I'm really good at guessing the appropriate container size for quantities of food or liquid. For example, when I make soup I don't measure what I put in the pot or use a recipe, but it'll always come out as exactly 1 or 2 or 3 quarts on the nose. My boyfriend gets excited whenever I cook and put food away to see if I fucked up this time, but I never do. Overthinking everything to the point that it's hard for you to sleep because of your racing mind. I once went beneath a post with the question, what's your quickest way of falling asleep, or something like that. Someone said adding to a series, which would be my demise. Because my brain has to finish this thought point, I answered beneath that what truthfully helped me. Edit. Wow, did not expect this to blow up. Point went to sleep and then saw 500 upvotes to answer some of your questions. Ticking clocks disturb me all the time, so they wouldn't help me sleep. Point I was never diagnosed with ADHD, but my brothers and I were always suspected to have a mild case of it, because my brothers were super active and I was always super quiet. My mom said that if I had it, it would be mental. To stop myself from overthinking everything, I imagine myself floating in space and try to make my whole mind attentive to it, so I build a mental wall for my thoughts. This isn't really a talent, but when I was younger I would always mouth the words of what someone else was saying while they were speaking. It was because I wasn't good with talking, so I used other people as examples. I did it so much that now I can just guess what someone else is going to say before they say it. It doesn't matter if I know them or not, I will usually guess their sentence in my head before they finish it. I'm really good at picking almost anything up with my feet. Like really good. It's only useless because I have to not be wearing socks, shoes, or slippers. Also, I usually have to be in the privacy in my home because people get weirded out when I bring my leg up as high as I do to meet with my hands. Big dick and premature ejaculator here. Please kill me. At this point I just have to get drunk as fuck to hope to not be worthless. If anyone has the same problem as me, foreplay is key to make sure your partner has a good time. I have mildly psychic dreams, sometimes, about totally useless things. Most of the time it manifests as me dreaming about a house I've never been in. Then I approach the house IRL months, sometimes years later, and I can describe the interior layout and decor of the house. Same. I've dreamt of a specific alleyway in an out of town area and could draw the image with pretty keen detail, as if I were sitting in a coffee shop across the street studying it. Months later I passed it, and that dream flashed in my head like a memory. Guarantee I had never been there before, as it was fairly new construction, couple years old, and I hadn't been in the area in around 5. It was actually a nice alleyway. Kinda reminded me of stereotypical Italian morning scenes found in paintings. Had that yellowish lighting. Great for coffee. Just needed a table and maybe a decorative plant or something. I can hear colors. Hot, right? It's called synesthesia. All songs have different colors and patterns. Super fun to listen to music during class and get a good score on my assignment for creativity and abstraction. I can also feel others touch on my own body without them touching me. If they poke themselves, I can feel the poke on my body. This is called mirror touch synesthesia. Thanks for watching. In comments, write about similar facts and situations from your life. If you enjoy this video, watch other on my channel, and have a nice day.